The Silverstone squad is gearing up for the launch of its AMR23 car at its factory on 13th February, with interest surrounding the team heightened with it having signed Fernando Alonso to partner launch Stroll for the 2023 season. Although it remains coy about the details of the design of its new challenger, Aston Martin's Deputy Technical Director Eric Blandin suggests there should be some interesting ideas on it. He has suggested that they have found a small loophole which will help them with the development of the entire car. He goes on to hint at the loophole being a fundamental piece of the car development and is very important when it comes to getting the basics right. Aston Martin is no stranger to taking things to the extreme, having unleashed an innovative rear-wing design concept at last year's Hungarian Grand Prix. The scroll-like solution cleverly got around the rules that were aimed at limiting what teams could do with end plates, but while the design was given the green light for last season, changes to the regulations for 2023 have meant it is now outlawed. The AMR23 looks set to be a big departure from last year's car, which required a mid-season change in concept after the team realized its launch specification had gone in the wrong direction. So much of the AMR23 is new, it's completely different from the AMR22. They have changed more than 90% of the parts and more than 95% of the aerodynamic surfaces are different, according to Blandin. He also goes on to state that Aston Martin will unveil the real AMR23 and not a rebranded AMR22 at their car launch on February 13th. So do you think Aston Martin have found a silver bullet, or is this just a PR stunt? Let me know in the comments below. Max Verstappen says Pirelli take it easy with the Formula 1 tires, as lack of a tire war means they don't need to find extra performance from them. Various drivers, including the likes of Lewis Hamilton and the now retired Sebastian Vettel, have criticized the offering from Pirelli in the past, and while Verstappen is sympathetic towards Pirelli, he agrees with his fellow world champions. The two-time world champion also feels that the extreme wet weather tires from Pirelli need major work and that he is willing to help them overcome the problems such as those seen in the 2022 Japanese Grand Prix, where the field stayed away from the full wet and ran the intermediate tires despite heavy standing water. He goes on to say that Pirelli need to work on their tires and make sure that the softer tires are more durable and don't overheat quickly. A Mercedes chief has admitted his surprise that none of their Formula 1 rivals found a loophole in the rules which enabled them to use their unique sidepod design last year. By their usual lofty standards, Mercedes' 2022 car was a dud. Their W13 was uncompetitive compared to the machines produced by Red Bull and Ferrari, and it left the Silver Arrows unable to compete for the titles. They did catch eyes up and down the paddock though when they turned up with a car with radically different sidepods compared to the rest of their competitors. The zero-pod design gave the W13 a distinct shape and was a much talked about innovation in the early stages of the season. Of course, it didn't help Mercedes to compete at the level they would have wanted, but they have insisted that their sidepod philosophy was not the cause of the lack of competitiveness and that the problems on that front laid elsewhere. Technical Director Mike Elliott says he is not shocked that other teams didn't copy the design after it debuted, but was surprised that no one else thought of it in the first place. It remains to be seen what exactly they will come up with when it comes to Mercedes' sidepod designs for the W14 car for this season. Team principal Toto Wolff recently said not to expect a radically different look, but other reports claim the team is going for a more middle ground approach. Now check out the latest updates on Ferrari's 2026 engine by clicking on this video.